interfere with my work. You know, my roommate, my colleagues, my friends, my associates, my collaborators in doing the experiment and so forth. This is now the pervasive ethics. In fact, I think all of you, whether you like it or not, basically subscribe to this form of ethics. You know, one of the most famous courses on Harvard campus is Michael Sandel's course on justice. So the question was posed in one of the dinner conversation, small group of people. You know, he's taught the course numerous times, so thousands of students have taken the course. So the question is posed, is there any really impact of this course on students? You know, realistically, you know, the students become more just, become more concerned about themselves and so forth. The answer is not necessarily. Maybe there's no impact. However, there's something that happens. That something is that each one, if he or she is serious about the cause, becomes self-reflexive. Before they take the course, they are relativistic. After they've taken the course, they are still relativistic, but they know why. Now, the why, if you analyze it, is not relativistic as I understand it. It's pluralistic, but not relativistic. Pluralistic meaning that you have different ways of approaching moral reasoning or moral ethics. You have different ways of looking at it. But you do not allow numerous possibilities because you have judgment. Sometimes you don't express your judgment openly, but you have some sense. What is right, what is inspiring, and first of all, what is acceptable, and what is right, what is inspiring, what is something you want to emulate. So they're different, and yet even though they're different, so they're more than one possibilities, but they are not numerous possibilities. Some people say as long as they're people, we have 1,600 people in the same class, and the 1,600 people will have 1,600 forms of ethics, and each one of them is valid according to one's own approach. We can say there's 1,600 ways of approaching ethics, but you cannot have 1,600 forms of ethics. That's one of the reasons when I ask the question, you're able to find another alternative to the three we described. These three are comprehensive. And of course, there are many alternatives you try to think about it. But in general, these three cover a whole range of possibilities. And the range of possibilities covers quite a number of ethical orientations. So obviously, Confucianism is raw ethics. It's care ethics. It's also virtue ethics. Let us look at what we've learned in terms of major thinkers in the Confucian tradition. Confucius himself talked a great deal about, of course, each one of them is involved in learning to be human. And if you want to be more precise, learning to be more flourish in trying to be human beings, or learning to be fully human, learning to be human in the broader and integrated sense. So all these major thinkers suggest that's what we learn. That's the learning for the sake of the self, learning for character building. But character building requires, first of all, from a Confucian point of view, some inner core. This is lacking, in a curious way, lacking in all the three forms of ethics we're talking about. because the inner core is often understood as your inner identity. Role ethics wanted to criticize that and hopefully to eliminate that. Don't worry about your inner quality. Understand yourself in a set of relationships. If you try to improve, eventually harmonize these relationships, you grow as an ethical person. You grow morally. And if you're too worried about your identity, worry about who am I, how I express myself as a fully developed human being, and what kind of person I want to become. If you're too worried about these issues, you become obsessed with something which is not really functional in the society. Even if you try to find something that you can consider as your inner identity, if it is not connected with the larger world in terms of relationships, it's not a fiction, it's unworkable. So one thing very interesting about these kind of interpretations of the Confucian tradition is the idea that the Confucians do not consider the crossroad as an important image.